How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day. And I just wanted to talk quick about the Paladin class, go over a little build I recommend for people, and kind of explain some of the feats and abilities and skills you have access to as a Paladin, go into detail, kind of say which ones are a little bit better, a little bit worse. None of them are necessarily bad, all of them can work. So, it just depends kind of what you're looking for and what you want out of a Paladin. But I'm going to go over what I recommend works really good for a Paladin for those of you that might be confused or need a little guidance or just want to see someone else's input. And like I said, by no means is this the only way to do anything. There's so many ways, so many builds. It all works great. So one of the first things you want to do is when you're doing your ability scores at the beginning, take the 2 out of Dex and put them into Charisma. So that way you have 16 Charisma. Because Strength's your main stat, Charisma is your second. You're going to use them both. Charisma is what you use to cast spells, and obviously Strength is your melee. So having both of them as high as you can is a great thing. Now, when you hit level 2, you're going to have to come up with these choices. The one I focus on, the one I recommend the most, is Great Weapon Fighting. Protection's a good one if you're going to go sword and board, one hand and shield. It gives you the ability to impose disadvantage on an attack against your allies when you are within 1.5 meters, and you must be able to see the attacker. This can be very useful if you're going for more of a, defensive paladin, tanky paladin, protection paladin kind of play style, which works very well, and you can still do decent damage with a one hand and a shield, but I prefer two-handers with Great Weapon Fighting, which basically allows you to re-roll a 1 or a 2 damage die. So, gives you a way better chance of not rolling low on hits. So I highly recommend that. Prepared spells, Command, Compelled Duel, I don't really find those that useful. Searing Smite and Thunderous Smite are great. They do, good damage, and they have the elemental properties, so if an enemy is weak to any of these, this is great. And then Wrathful Smite is pretty decent early on. Bless is good. You can take Cure Wounds. You could also take Shield of Faith, which is also very good. Compelled Duel's good if you want to hold aggro or get attention, so that's good for that purpose. And Heroism is also very good to gain 5 temporary hit points and make them immune to Frightened. Now level 3, you don't really get a whole lot, but we do get some good things. We do get our Divine Health, which prevents disease from afflicting you, an extra spell slot. Abjure Enemy, which is a pretty good spell. And then Vow of Enmity is very nice. Gain advantage on attack rolls against an enemy. So you can target it's a bonus action too. So you can target, a tough enemy, and now you have advantage, which is very helpful. And then we get access to our Oath spells. Based on our Oath, we have Bane and we have Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark is pretty good. Extra 1d6 slashing, and up to 3 creatures receive a 1d4 penalty to attack and saving throws with Bane. Both solid, both good. It's good to get access to those just so you have options. Level 4. This is where we finally get our Lay on Hands, which is amazing. And your first feat, you're going to have a couple choices. Ability Improvement, I would recommend as one. Great Weapon Master, I would also recommend as one. Or, since you already have Heavy Armor, you get Heavy Armor Master. So you can, increase your strength by 1, and then incoming damage from non-magical attacks decreases by 3. So these are 3 great choices. If you are Shield, you go on Sword and Board, you could possibly get the Shield Master, which is helpful. But for this build, I highly recommend getting Great Weapon Master right away. The main benefit to this is if you get a critical hit or you kill an enemy, you get an extra attack. Plus, you get the proficiency. If you're proficient with heavy weapons, you can deal extra 10 damage at the cost of, losing -5 to your attack roll. So you lose a little bit of accuracy, but you get the extra damage. And you can toggle this on and off, the Great Weapon Master feat. So it's not like you're always going to have a permanent accuracy penalty, but when it is on, you're going to have like 25 to 35% chance to hit. So you are going to notice the decreased accuracy. But like I said, if you don't like it, you can turn it off. And then when it does hit, though, you're going to hit hard. You're going to hit very hard. So very good way to increase damage. Now at level 5, we get our extra attack, which is huge. Now we can attack twice a turn. And we get access to level 2 spells. And we get some new Oath spells, Hold Person and Misty Step. Misty Step's amazing. So it's good we get access to that. Now, they give you Magic Weapon, which is alright, but if you only can have one level 2, I would recommend Branding Smite instead. And it gave me command. I forgot to switch it out with Shield of Faith. We got Bless, Raffle, Cure Wounds, Thunderous Smite, and Searing Smite. You probably don't even need Cure Wounds anymore once you start getting access to Lay on Hands, so you can easily swap that out if you desire. Level 6, we get our Aura of Protection, so that's good. And we don't really get anything else here, unfortunately, so not that big of a deal. Level 7, though. Level 7 is pretty nice. We get our other subclass feature, Relentless Avenger. If you hit an enemy with an opportunity attack, your movement speed increases on your next turn. And we get an extra spell slot. So now we can do 2 level 2 spells. I think. Pretty sure, yeah, we should be able to. So we'll take out Cure. Yeah, we got 2. You could do Magic Weapon, which is good. You could do Aid. Aid is good. Increases hit point maximum, and it heals your allies by 5. So that's not too bad. Protection from poison is a good option too. Whatever kind of floats your boat here, you know, it is, for some reason, it's like, oh, I got an extra level 1. I was like, it's swapping out my skills, but I'm not. I'm trying to go a little bit faster because I don't want this video to be over 10 minutes. I just want to kind of get the info out there, and these kind of videos can take a long time, so I try to respect people's time and keep my videos as short as possible. So level 8, which is the final level I'm going to cover in this guide, we get our next feat, which ability improvement is what I would recommend, or heavy armor master. But for this build in particular, I go with ability improvement, and I'm going to get my strength to 18, and then I'll just put 1 in charisma, and then we'll get that to 18 next. Or actually, we're going to go 18 charisma, and then when we get our next feat, we're going to take heavy armor master, and that'll give us +1 to strength, so that'll go to 18. So I'll have 18 in both. That's the way to do it. So that's going to do it for the quick Paladin guide. Like I said, this is just early to mid game. This isn't covering late game. You know, just to give people an idea what to level up through. I mean, level 8, I mean, we're 2/3 of the way through the levels. Level cap is 12. So hopefully this will help you make some choices. This build is very good. It does hit very hard, you know, and you can really, you know, take a lot of hits. You'll get high, with your high AC and stuff, you're going to be hard to hit. So it's just a really good solid build, and Great Weapon Master, just, you can do some tremendous damage when it does hit, but it can be frustrating when you are missing a lot with it, so it's kind of a give and take. But if you guys get any questions about the build or any comments, please drop them down below. You know, I'd love to answer them or help anybody out, and if you got any awesome builds you're running, hey, drop them below, you know, let people know about them. I mean, nothing wrong with that. There's so many ways to play the character, so many builds that work. It's just fun, you know, to try out different things. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, later guys. Peace out. Have a good one.